Hello. Today we have a bit of a special flight for you. This will be a full flight, not only a landing. We are at Vladikavkaz in southern Russia, and we are going to fly to Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia. This was actually a request from YouTube by Georgi Yanukashvili. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I assume it's Georgian. And I know you requested the other way from Tbilisi to Vladikavkaz, but that's how things kind of sorted out in my current route around the world. I hope you don't mind. And this is also my first full flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So we are going to have it, warts and all. As you can see, the weather in Vladikavkaz is not good at all. It's very cloudy, very cold, but it's not rainy. So anyway, I decided to go for a very simple route. We're going just take one waypoint and then straight into Georgia. That's because all the official departures from Vladikavkaz are to the north, are inside Russia, so they would make us go like this to go back to Georgia. So we'll try to cross the mountains, see if we can get enough altitude, and then go to Tbilisi. But, beyond ATC may have different ideas as well, so I'm curious to see how it will behave. Anyway, we are at the aircraft, cold and dark, so let's start the procedure. Take off the control locks, open a fuel tank, and we'll do the walk around in the cold. So flaps. Good. Aileron. Okay. We are not using the tip tanks, so we can ignore those. Landing light, fine. Remove the tie down. Don't need to check the fuel because I haven't refueled since the last flight. We should have plenty of fuel. Take off the wheel chock. See if there's any water. No water. Anything in the prop area? No. Check oil. Oil is fine. Still between half full and 3/4 full, not very dark. No need to check fuel. Remove the other chock. Remove the pitot cover, the tie down, check the stall warning. Check the landing light. Again, no tip tanks. Left aileron, fine. Left flap, fine. Static port, that's okay. Tie down, elevator, rudder, nothing different than normal. Static port, and we are done with the visual walk around. So now we go inside the cockpit, check the circuit breakers. They're all fine. And then I can start turning the plane on. Rotating beacon, it's not working yet because I have no battery, but full props, full mixture. Crack open the throttle, then battery. See the fuel indicator comes up, we can hear the rotating beacon. And now fuel pump to see if it's working. And it is. We have positive fuel pressure. Turn it off. Go back here. We prime the engine. Hopefully it's not too cold. I usually just go for 4 pumps. Magneto to both and press starter. There we go. A bit wobbly, but we got it. Okay. Lean the mixture. Reduce RPM to about 1000. And turn on avionics, turn on nav2, turn on the transponder, headphones. Here we go to elapsed time. We can already input the Tbilisi VOR over here and the ATIS frequency while things boot up. Which is we can also turn on the heating so people here don't freeze, and while it does that we can initialize beyond ATC.
Beyond ATC connected.
Same thing here, we'll tune on the VOR, and URMO has only a tower frequency, which is 121.2, the depart, then the center is 122.3, so we can tune to 121.2. Like so. GPS is initialized. Let's turn on traffic and input our flight plan, which is really simple. We are at URMO. We'll be going to uniform golf T. I forgot what T is. Bravo. Tango Bravo, yeah. We're going to this airport. And the waypoint is Lima Alpha Papa Tango Oscar. That's the flight plan done. So our first heading will be 201, assuming Beyond ATC doesn't have other ideas. And we can get the ATIS.
Runway 27, transition level 070. Advise on initial contact, you have information uniform. Beslan Airport information uniform. 1130 Zulu, wind 275 at initial contact, you have information you...
So we got the QNH, which is 1016. Oil is still heating up, but we can get our clearance from ATC now. Tower CIC06 ready for IFR clearance.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, Vladikavkaz Tower, expect runway 27, climb flight level 080 on runway center line, then expect radar vectors Lapto, squawk 3221.
Expect runway 27, climb to flight level 080, then expect radar vectors to Lapto, squawk 3221 CIC06.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
Roger, CIC06. So I input the squawk code over here. And yeah, oil temp is fine, so we can ask for taxi now. Let's get going. It has cleared up a little bit at least. Tower CIC06 ready for taxi.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, runway 27 taxi via 32.
Taxi to runway 27 via 32 CIC06. So I have no idea how to taxi here. As you heard, just go straight ahead. Okay. Parking brake off, and we're on. It's at 32, and I guess that's because of the mod. We are using a mod for Vladikavkaz. And sometimes the mod doesn't have accurate taxiing information, but it's fine. Lots of ramps. So this is 3, we can see it on the map. Should take us to 2, probably turning right, I would assume. Wait, is this already the runway? Oh. Is this the runway, right? Yeah. See, the taxiway is a bit confused. So we'll just stop here and do our pre-flight checks and then ask for permission to probably tell us to backtrack. Anyway, so pre-flight checks. Not very complicated on the Comanche. First, we RPM up to about 2000. Check the instruments, gyro, temp, fuel pressure, oil temp, battery pressure, UGT, everything looks fine. We test the magnetos. We expect about 100 RPM drop for each. Back, left, okay. We cycle the props 3 times. 1, 2, Now we lower RPM to 1500. Last, check carburetor heat, which drops RPM a bit further. Engine checks are done. Trim. Oh, I don't know why trim is. That's one of the issues of 2024. The persistence settings are a bit weird, so you always gotta check those things. Door is locked and latched. Trim is fine. Now we test flight controls. Look fine. I know the left rudder looks, but that's my joystick. That's not actually the plane, which is an issue I've been having. And we prepare for takeoff. Fuel pump, landing lights, strobe light, pitot heat, full mixture. Now you ask for permission. Tower CIC06 at runway 27, ready for takeoff.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, Vladikavkaz Tower. Fly runway heading, runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 27, CIC06. Yeah, we didn't get the backtrack info, which would probably have been the correct thing, probably because as you could see, the taxiways are very confused in this airport, and Beyond ATC reads from the taxiways data, not from what you're actually in the sim. But anyway, we'll do the backtracking ourselves. It's not very far. The airport is empty. We can turn on the autopilot system. Not much wind. Let us turn around at 27 here. Final preparations. Increase the range from GPS. Heading bug. And well, let me tune the next frequency before I forget, which is 122.3. Better to do it when we're on still, not busy. Okay, so full power, release brakes, and here we go. We rotate at about 80-85 miles. Usually wants to take off before that. Like, yeah, it's already climbing. This plane really likes to fly. Okay. Positive. Retract landing gear. And here we are. 500 feet. That's the airport. Really pretty. I'll turn on heading mode. Trim us down a little bit. Fuel pumps can go off, landing light can go off. 2400 RPM. And we're up. These clouds, I hope, will not freeze the plane outright, really. Oh, I forgot to reset this. Anyway. I'm actually turning on terrain mode because we have mountains pretty close by, so. Almost at 4,000 feet. Can't really see much of Vladikavkaz, I'm sorry. I am more concerned about carburetor icing now. So I wanna, yeah, see, there it is. So yeah, carb heat on, mixture a bit leaner. Since we're at 4,000 feet. ATC is strangely quiet. It usually barks instructions way before that. We don't seem to be freezing though, but we are not clearing the clouds at all. Trim down a bit more. Mountains are to our left, so we're okay so far. Oh, we're clearing the clouds at least, that's good. Yeah, there's some ice here already on the screen, on the glass. We already picked up the Tbilisi VOR. We can also be more or less guided by it. Yeah, we cleared the clouds. That's nice. It's very weird that ATC hasn't said anything. I'll actually switch to the center and see what happens. Rostov Center, CIC 06, good afternoon, 6,500 feet.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha, 06, Rostov Control, radar contact, climb to flight level 140.
Climb to flight level 140, CIC 06. Good, that's what I expected. We are at 7,000 feet, which actually means we switch to flight.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, turn left, heading 170.
Turn left, heading 170, CIC 06. Turning towards the mountain. So what I did just now, the transition level was 07, flight levels 070, as we heard in ATIS. This is something that the default flight simulator doesn't have. It's always the same transition level, but here it every area has its own transition level. So we go back to standard barrel, which is 1013 millibars, and okay, we're heading towards I think we can turn off carb heat now. I'll check in a little bit. Yeah, no more ice since we're past the clouds. And trim down a little bit more. The ideal climbing speed is 120, so that's why I'm trimming down. But on the other side, I do want to climb more or less fast because we're getting close to the mountains. But as you can see, we're turning towards the southern mountains to cross into Georgia. Lapto will actually be the transition, the border. Everything looks fine now. 170, right? Yeah, so see, we're already on our way. The VOR indicates. All the instruments look fine. Everything looks fine. I'm going to increase the heating. This doesn't make any actual difference other than a little battery usage. But we do have a passenger, so maybe she'll feel more comfortable. I love flying in a sea of clouds. It had been a while since I last done that. But the meter for Tbilisi was clear, so maybe the clouds will clear up once we cross the mountains. We'll see. Since we're climbing, I am going to put data for Tbilisi, so we can already get some information. And the elevation is useful. 1500. Lots of runways. It doesn't have the frequencies here, but I can pick up the frequencies from beyond ATC. So we have an ATIS 132.8, ground is 131.7, towers 119, 2 approaches 134.6 and 127.2.
Rostov Control, Pobeda 6902, flight level 129er.
Pobeda 6902, Rostov Control. Good day, identified. Continue climb to flight level 370.
Continue climb to flight level 370, Pobeda 6902.
I leveled up the mixture a little bit. We can already tune in the ATIS for Tbilisi. 132.8. It's very nice.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, cleared direct laptop. Resume on navigation.
Clear direct laptop, resume on navigation, CIC06. Since it told us that, we can just move.
There 743, contact Baku radar 127.9er.
Touch
select the waypoint we've been cleared to and then just press the direct to button. Enter to activate, and we get the new heading, which is 196. Like so. And now we can go to track mode. It will follow the GPS. We are at 12,000 feet and getting closer to the mountains, so I'm just keeping an eye on this. It's a lovely sea of clouds, isn't it? Look at that. The mountains poking out of it. Very nice. If you saw yesterday's video, the weather was completely clear. Shame we can't get the ground, but we can get the mountains and the clouds. Just lovely. We are, as you can see, the pilot model isn't displayed in the external view. That's a current flight simulator bug. Bit of a shame, but nothing you can do about it. We are, just getting ready. Still climbing slowly now because, I mean, in the real Comanche, if we were this high, we would have been wearing oxygen masks because this is not a pressurized aircraft. And it has no anti-icing systems whatsoever, which is why I'm kind of hoping the clouds will clear, because once we start getting ready to land, we might be in for some trouble. But, see, we are getting. Red is danger, yellow is careful, but you can do it. So we are okay. Yeah, there's no danger, really. So I'll switch off terrain mode and just go back to navigation. We are at 24 miles from Lapto, so we are 24 miles from Georgia. Almost 350 hours on this little Comanche, and I still can't see myself flying anything else. The idea of switching planes because of icing conditions depresses me a little bit, but might have to be done once we're, although the worst of winter should be over now, but so far, so good. Okay, so we are almost at flight level 140, see? Once we hit that, I will turn on altitude hold, this button here. And trim us down for cruise. Bit too much actually. Okay. So now we're in cruise mode. Not much to do actually with the at this altitude. It's better to go full throttle and stay at 2400 RPM. Look, we're flying at 55%, which is okay. The engine is quite lean, and it's fine as well. So we can just enjoy the flight now. I tried to read up a little bit on Georgian history, and it's so complicated. I mean, this region is kind of in the middle of everything, between Europe and the Middle East and India and Russia, and this land, Georgia, has been part of so many kingdoms and empires, and always attempting to be independent and usually failing, I'm afraid to say, because again, it's just very important. It's in the Silk Road, it's a major trade route, and the passage through the Caucasus Mountains is so difficult. Oh my God, look at how beautiful this is. Look at that. Just look at that. We are gonna fly through more clouds though, it seems, so I might have to be careful with icing. Although it is so cold. That we might get away with it. As I understand it, icing is more of an issue when the temperature is close to freezing than actually. And these are not heavy clouds, so at least they don't look like it. But anyway, Georgia, it's been part of several Persian kingdoms and always threatened by the Ottomans and the Turkish peoples, and then invaded by the Mongols, and then now he wants us to trim down. Okay. And then of course Russia in the 19th century, and the Soviet Union, and such a difficult place. The Georgian people. As a Brazilian, it's even hard for me to understand this position of being very ancient, but also, kind of a small kingdom that can't really do much against your much larger neighbors. So, yeah. I can see why a large proportion of Georgians currently want to be closer to the European Union, but again, it is a very complicated place politically, historically. I really wish I could learn more about it. Now let's worry about flying the plane. See, I'm gonna turn on carb heat. Again, these things are better done as precautions than you don't wait until your engine starts to freeze to turn on carb heat. You turn it before, because we're going around this peak mountain here. Can we see which is it? Seems to be what? So many mountains here. Swazi? Kazbegi, maybe? Anyway. And we're getting close to Lapto, so let's prepare to turn. 142. That's the direct. We'll get vector, I assume. Get switched to the Georgian radar. That mountain is really close. So it's this one here. Gora Sirkibarzond seems to be. Let's hope we don't turn into popsicle now, though. That's my main concern. FPS is dropping down a little bit. Nothing major. Now we look for signs of icing really while they're in the cloud. Good. Nothing too bad. More mountains though. My god, this feels like we're crossing heaven really, because again I said this in my previous video, but because Brazil doesn't have very high mountains. I mean, we do a little bit, but nothing that can compare to these snowy peaks or whatever, so I'm always so impressed by them. Now this left turn is, well, yeah, it's okay, it's beyond most mountains, so we shouldn't have to worry. Let's see if ATC tells us anything, because it's a bit quiet really. We even lost the VOR for a little bit crossing the mountains. I like how it takes terrain into account, but now it should be past most mountains. And again, this is the border, this is the border, this is Russia, this is Georgia. I mean, technically we are flying into
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha, 06, turn left, heading 140, vectors for Lakini Airport.
turn left heading 140 CIC 06. There we go, we were told to turn left. Means we're going to be surfing over more mountains. It doesn't seem to be dangerous, I think. At least, yeah. More mountains and more clouds, so keep carb heat on.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha, 06, contact Tbilisi radar 127.1.
127.1 CIC 06. So yeah, here we are in Georgia, back in Georgia. Tbilisi radar CIC 06, good afternoon, flight level 140.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha, 06, Tbilisi radar identified.
Once we're about 50 miles from the airport, I'll get the ATIS. Now we'll just enjoy the flight, really. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh, this feels so good. And we're not freezing, which is a good thing, at least so far. And yeah, terrain's fine. We're actually should be leaving the highest part of the mountain range, which is the border. So it only goes down from here. Can you imagine doing this in real life? Oh my god. I mean, probably on a more modern planning than this, but yeah. So we seem to be in a corridor in the middle of the clouds. Let's hope for no engine failures, because that would be a disaster actually. There is a landing. Something, I mean, it's very, very rare, and you can even turn them off if you don't like the tension, but mechanical failures can happen in the Comanche, and so it's always pays to kind of know where you could land in case of trouble. It does have the emergency checklists on the tablet, and yeah, but so far all the instruments look fine. Yeah, it's still in the green, a bit cold, but oh, it turned to 142, so we should be heading more or less straight towards the airport. Yeah. Time zone is also, we even lost the VOR because of the mountains. I should pick it up soon. Time zone is real, so it's about 4 p.m. in Georgia, early, well, it's morning in Brazil, so everything is fine. So yeah, we're leaving the snowy peaks, and hopefully we'll soon be told to descend and start doing something. Again, I haven't planned any approach, anything, so whatever we get from ATC we'll pick up on the fly, literally. It's less cloudy in Georgia, but it is also cloudy. Again, doesn't really hurt the plane to leave carb heat on, as far as I know. So better safe than sorry, really. I mean, it does. You do get less power, so we are flying it. And that's, again, another issue that Flight Simulator has. Sometimes the cloud transitions are very sudden. The weather transitions, I should say. I tried to read on Tbilisi as well, but again, it is kind of a miniature Georgia. It's been part of so many kingdoms and empires, and been through so much. Look at this river, lovely frozen river here. And used to be Tiflis when the city was under Persian control, and then in the Soviet Union the name went back to Tbilisi, I believe. Seems to be a lovely place. Again, a bit of lots of political instability lately with the whole issue of the current government trying to be closer to Russia than the European Union. There were several demonstrations last year. I have no idea how the situation is these days, unfortunately. But again, I am a pacifist at heart, so I just hope for the the best for the Georgian people, and that they can enjoy their beautiful country the way they want to. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Again, I feel really bad for people who are having issues with Flight Sim 2024 and can't really enjoy it the way they want to, because look at this. It's actually hard to explain for younger people how much scenery like this means to older geezers like me, because I mean, if you're young, do this exercise, go find some screenshots or Flight Simulator 4 or 5 and compare to this. I mean, back then we would already be thrilled with what it was, and the idea that it could come to anywhere near this sort of fidelity.
Tbilisi radar, ASOL 8233, descending via Lamos 1 Alpha, flight level 279er. Avel 8233, Tbilisi radar identified.
It's just, you know, completely unbelievable where technology has led us. So yeah, despite all the issues, I am still completely in love with this simulator, and I'm not a pessimist. I think Microsoft and Asobo and the other subsidiaries are. Look at that! Oh my god! Sorry, I just get. Look, just feel this. This is in a computer screen.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, Tbilisi radar, expect radar vectors. ILS Yankee runway 3, 1 left.
Expect radar vectors ILS 3, ILS Yankee, runway 3, 1 left. I think I messed up. Nope, I didn't. 3, 1 left. Okay, so let's get the procedures. ILS Yankee, 3, 1 left, vectors. Activate. So yeah, it already turns us to the VLOC, which I can get here. And we should take a look at the procedure in the charts. I don't like to have the charts in the sim because also we're landing from the other side. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, still far away. So let's get the data, shall we? The final approach is 310. Minimums are 1713. Final approach. Minimums for ABC, we are A. At the final approach fix, we should be at 4,000 feet. Missed approach is climb straight ahead to 7,000 and then turn right to the VOR, which is still tuned, so okay, we're good. Let's get the ATIS now that we got the approach.
Contact, you have information, Lima. Virginia Airport information, Lima. 1215 Zulu. Wind 295 at 13. Temperature 12. Dew point -03. QNH 1015. VFR conditions. Landing and departing runways 31 right, 31 left. Transition level 130. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Lima.
Okay, see, so the transition level is 130. So once we are below 13,000 feet, we can go to the actual QNH and prepare for landing. But again, we are I'll have GPS. So we are at 41 miles from the final approach fix. This is not the route we're taking. I'm still following ATC and staying at the heading it told me to. I will tell them we're ready for descent though. Right? Where is it? Oops. Yeah, look at how the weather changed. I guess we're safe to turn off carb heat down. A bit more power, as you can see. Tbilisi radar CIC-06 ready for descent.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, fly present heading, descend to 5,000 feet, QNH 1015, Lokini landing runway 31 left.
Fly present heading, descent to 5,000 feet, QNH 1015, landing runway 31 left.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, contact Tbilisi approach 134.6.
134.6 CIC-06. Tbilisi approach CIC-06 with information Lima. Good afternoon. Flight level 140.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, Tbilisi approach, GNH 1015, expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 31 left.
QNH 1015, expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 31 left CIC-06.
Negative, QNH 1015.
QNH 1015 CIC-06.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, turn left, heading 345, vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 345, vectors for the approach, CIC-06. Okay, that's a bit weird. 345 is...
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, fly present heading, descend to 7,000 feet.
Fly present heading, descent to 7,000 feet, CIC-06. See, there are some contradictory informations, but because turning 345 would make no sense. We are, I mean, I guess it would send us here, so we'll just stay where we are, but we can descend. So turn off altitude hold, cut power, and since we are trimmed down, we'll start descending on our own. Right? Yes, there we are. Oh, and I forgot to change fuel tanks, so let's do that. Fuel pump. Turn on the right tank, turn off the left tank. Back here, turn off fuel pump, check if fuel pressure is still up, so there are no issues with the fuel tank, and we're fine. So we're descending. Once we hit 13,000 feet, which is the transition altitude, we'll go to the actual QNH. And yeah, Beyond ATC sometimes does that. It gives us a weird instruction and then it takes us to the actual one. I don't know why. Again, 13,000 feet. And we are back to local pressure. That's it. That's all we have to do. Very nice. Where are we? I'm looking at the instructions and didn't. Let's see. Volanta tells us. So yeah, we're Sioni, this lake. Oh, it's a reservoir. It's a dam. It's a Sioni Dam. Let's get an external view of Georgia.
Tbilisi, ASOL 8233. Good day. 10,900 feet with the numbers.
ASOL 8233 Tbilisi approach. Good day. QNH 1015. Expect the ILS Zulu runway 31 left with the Gemma transition.
QNH 1015. Expect the ILS Zulu runway 31 left with the Gemma transition. ASOL 8233.
Just beautiful terrain all around us. Anyway, we are descending. See the altitude indicator, we can even cut power a little bit more.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, turn right, heading 155.
Turn right, heading 155, CIC 06. See, I was already predicting this. 155. I'll leave this to 310, which is our final fix. But this I'll keep on the VOR in case we need to miss the approach and turn. This is just about, yeah, course, but it doesn't really matter.
ASOL 8233, descend to 5,500 feet, QNH 1015.
Descend to 5,500 feet. QNH 1015. ASOL 8233.
ASOL 8233, clear direct Gemna, cross Gemna, at or above 5,500 feet, cleared ILS Zulu runway 31 left.
Cleared direct Gemna. Cross Gemna at or above 5,500 feet. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 31 left. ASOL 8233.
There's traffic to the left. I don't think we can see it, but it should be around here. A bit higher than us, so it's okay. Getting some turbulence as we go down. We were told to descend to 7,000 feet, and it's funny how the Comanche likes to fly. It takes us a long time to descend. No terrain issues. Again, always gotta check for terrain because Beyond ATC sometimes can be a bit complicated, but no, we're fine. Oh, actually zoom us in a little bit. we're Tbilisi should be to our right. Let's see if we can see it. There it is. Look at how gorgeous. Oh God. Still descending. Nothing more to report. Now we can. Yeah, it's probably getting hot. I mean, it's still sub-zero, but yeah, don't need to cut this too much. We have a tailwind pushing us. 9,000. This is beautiful Georgia. The airport is over there. The sun glare stopping us from seeing it. Again, we'll soon see something. The place is right next to those lakes there. See, might be dams, but still, they look like lakes. $8,500. Tower is 119, so you might as well tune this. It's always good practice in aviation to predict what might happen and be ready for it. Feet, just so this is a controlled descent. As you can see, we don't really increase speed very much. We just cut power and let the plane kind of glide down. I could have just pushed on the yoke and dived, but that's not the best. We need more mixture though.
Level 8233, contact Tbilisi Tower 119.0.
Over to Tower 119.0, Azal 8233.
I forgot to add mixtures. It does give us a little more power, so the descent is halted, but we are about to hit 7,000. The airport is a default one. There is a paid mod for Tbilisi, which unfortunately I didn't get, as I said. Since I'm always flying from place to place, it doesn't make much sense to spend money to buy an airport, which I'm only going to see once, so or twice, as I should say, when I land and when I take off. So yeah, so 7,000 feet, just about. As you can see, this is the ILS, so maybe we'll get vectored some. 7,000 feet, add a little more power, but not full power. We want to be at more or less low speed. This is fine, 19. Now we wait for ATC to keep on vectoring us. this is where we should eventually end up, flying this way to land. Do we need to trim down, really?
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, fly present heading, descend to 5,000 feet.
Descend to 5,000 feet, CIC 06. See? You want to be at 4,000 feet at that fix, so let's descend a bit more. We're almost at positive temperature. And here are the outskirts of Tbilisi. See, the city is over here. And we are going to do this at some point. ILS has been picked up quite a while ago, actually, so we're okay. Another lake on the way and pretty hills all around. Lots of farming. I don't know actually what is it that they grow here in Georgia. I know it's one of the world's oldest winemaking regions actually, but I assume they grow wheat maybe and cereals mostly, but I could be wrong. Getting to 5,000 feet. So we should get more instructions soon. Feet, hold, increase power. 18 is fine, more or less, yeah. Yeah, I'll trim down a little bit more. Because I want to be at around 150, I don't want to go too fast and have to slow down to deploy the gear since we're beginning our landing procedure. Speaking of, yes, I'll trim down a bit more. Fuel pump, landing lights, pitot heat stays on, I believe, yeah, it's still cold.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, 2 miles from CF31L, turn right, heading 250, maintain 4,000 feet until established, cleared ILS Yankee runway 31 left.
Turn right, heading 250, maintain 4,000 feet until established, clear ILS Yankee runway 31 left, CIC 06. We turn, and we descend. At 250, right? And by established it means we can really turn right to the final course, really. See? Yeah, it already picked up VLOC because it senses we are getting ready. Let's correct the heading and feet, which is exactly where we need to be. Add power and let them know we're coming. Approach CIC-06 established on final.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, affirmative.
Once they're about 2 miles, I'll drop the landing gear. We're a bit too fast. So that's not gonna trim down anymore. Shut up. Okay, landing gear, full props, full mixture, turn off heating.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, contact Tbilisi Tower 119.0.
119.0 CIC-06.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, Tbilisi Tower, wind 295 at 13, runway 31 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 31 left, CIC-06. It's a bit strange though. Lots of places here. Yeah, we're... Okay, turning off. Flaps, trim up. But we're landing there, see, that's the correct runway. Trim up a little bit more, just above neutral. It's been working fine. And we use the ILS for guidance, but again, this plane, we do everything manually. Speed is fine, we're descending. The airport is a little before the city itself. The city is over there. We just stop talking and turn right. Get us, we're going a little low, but it's fine. Just keep an eye on speed so we don't damage the flaps. We can actually add another notch. The wind is a headwind, mostly. You can even take a look at beautiful Georgia. There is 31 left. I think we're at full flaps, right? Oh, now we are at full flaps, which is good. Cut the power a little bit more. Weather is fine. I don't foresee us having to abort the landing. Not many obstacles on the way. Some woods. Airport's at 1,500 feet more or less, so we are still a little, but we can see the peppy lights and they're fine. Now we don't need to look at the instruments, just control the throttle, control the direction. Ready. Beautiful. Look at those outskirts and the mountains and the clouds. Again, this is a default scenery. I do use the Bijan Habashi's trees and vegetations mod, which is also fantastic. And
all aircraft be advised, information mic now current, QNH1015.
Doesn't really matter for us right now. Now we are going too high, so let's... I have this tendency of flying a bit too high on landings, but okay, now we caught up. Cutting speed, making sure flaps are down. The wind isn't really, just pushing us slightly to the right, so I have to correct every once in a while. Nice river. Look at this cute little valley. And that house that must be quite noisy with the aircraft flying over it. Beautiful, beautiful place. Getting to the threshold. Cutting power. 31 left. Almost there. It always floats, see? It always floats. Oops. Oops. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, exit right next available taxiway.
Exit right next available taxiway CIC 06. Here we are, Tbilisi, Georgia. Flaps up. Fuel pump off, strobe off, mixture lean. Which is the next available taxiway? Yeah, it's right in the middle. Ground was 131.7, I believe. So 131.7. There. Bring back to neutral. Oops. There's the taxiway. So yeah, decent enough landing. A little floating, but I took a while to flare, I think. Hello, taxiway. Again, it's the default scenery, so I assume taxiways and the terminals won't be realistic. As you can see, there are no labels, which is a shame. We should be turning to
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, contact ground 131.7.
131.7 CIC 06. Tell us to go to ramp 2. Ground CIC 06, good afternoon. Taxi to ramp 2.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, Tbilisi apron. You need to make a taxi request for instructions.
Didn't I do that? Taxi to ramp 2, CIC 06.
Charlie India, Charlie Alpha 06, you need to make a taxi request for instructions.
Well, yeah, doesn't seem to be a taxiway. Which is ramp 2. Hold on, let me. Where is ramp 2? Oh, it's right at the end there. Where am I? I'm crossing the runway. I'm in the middle of the runway, which is a terrible idea. So we'll just ignore ATC and go to ramp 2 ourselves. Yeah, that's the problem with default airports. One day, I hope the generation will be so much more precise, but again, it's a small complaint, really. We don't even get the information we need. There are no options to actually make a request. So we turn right here. And we'll go all the way to the end. Where are those planes parked there? The models are from FSLTL, which for me, they're good enough. I don't really fly very busy places, and they do have seem to have most available liveries. It's rare that I get a blank livery, so I don't even know those carriers, I'm afraid. I mean, that's Dubai, I guess. So ramp 2 is this one. Air Arabia. And that one is... I don't know. Sorry. Not very good at airliners at all. So, okay, ramp 2 should be over here. Anyway, we'll park here and pretend it is. So there we are, parking brake. Bye beyond ATC, we don't need you anymore. Turn off avionics, turn off autopilot, turn off COM2, turn off transponder, remove headphones. Turn off pitot heat, lights, battery, throttle back, mixture back, engine off, props back, magnetos off, Fuel tank off. Trim at neutral. Door open. Control lock. And the rest we'll do through the tablet. So wheel chocks, tie downs, pitot cover, and baggage door. And here we are at Tbilisi, Georgia. Again, thank you to Georgi Yanukashvili for the request. I hope you enjoyed this. And I'll see you next time, next week, probably. See you there. Thank you very much for watching.